Welcome to the deep dive. We pull out the key insights from sources you share, and today we're jumping into a big one: sports journalism's betting transformation. Our mission really is to look at how betting odds aren't just on niche sites anymore. They're front and center, right? On apps, halftime shows, even how analysts talk. Think about this, right? You tune in expecting tactical talk, maybe player matchups. Instead, you hear, so who's the best value at Mega Get 120 tonight?
Yeah, that's spot on. And for anyone maybe not deep into betting, that negative 120 just means you bet $120 to win $100 on the favorite.
Yeah,
It's standard odds language.
exactly. And look, this shift, it is exciting in some ways, but there's definitely a flip side we need to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty wild how fast this is changing the whole landscape of sports journalism. It's
Yeah.
not just, adding a betting segment here or there. It's fundamentally altering what counts as sports news, what counts as analysis. It's a really big shift.
Okay, so let's touch on that exciting part first, because, I mean, it does add a different kind of layer, doesn't it? Like, instead of just saying, oh, Team A has a decent shot, now you hear stuff like, okay, based on the line movement, Team A has about a 63% implied probability.
Right. And that implied probability comes straight from the betting odds. It makes it sound very precise, very data-driven.
Yeah, it feels sharp, like
Yeah.
data-driven storytelling almost.
And that precision, well, it connects to engagement, right? Betting definitely can pull people in deeper. Maybe you start following a sport you didn't care much about before. It boosts audience retention, keeps people watching, and it adds new angles. Like, think about a game that's a total blowout.
Usually you tune out.
Exactly. But if there's a prop bet going like, who scores the next touchdown, or will the total points go over the line, suddenly you're still invested. You're hooked.
Okay, so that's the shiny side, the data, the engagement, keeping blowouts interesting. But let's flip that coin. What about journalistic integrity? That's where I start to get a bit concerned. You have media outlets now partnering directly with sports books, huge financial ties.
Massive ties. And that puts real pressure on objectivity, doesn't it?
It has to. Can the coverage really be unbiased if your employer has a big money deal with a betting brand? Or, what if a betting segment is sponsored by the exact sports book that maybe made a mistake or has questionable lines? Can the journalist actually call them out?
That's the core issue. And think about the audience, especially younger viewers maybe. They're on platforms they trust for, actual sports news. And suddenly they're hearing parlay picks, these multi-bet wagers and locks of the week. It's presented just like regular analysis.
Yeah, it blends right in.
And the analysis itself starts shifting. It becomes less about, say, deep scouting or team dynamics and more about which way the betting line is moving. It subtly changes what information you're actually getting. It feels less like reporting and more, well, transactional.
And the language, that's changed so much too. I mean, growing up, it was all about the game, the players, the story. Now, a win isn't just a win. It's a cover did they beat the spread. A game is only really exciting if the over hits, if the total score goes past the betting line. The whole audience, you listening, you sort of become a stakeholder. Every single play, every point, every minor injury suddenly has this potential financial weight attached to it.
And that leads us right to the heart of it, doesn't it? When journalism kind of slides into entertainment.
Right.
And then that entertainment becomes, well, monetized risk, the lines get incredibly blurry.
Is what you're hearing actual objective analysis, or is it really just a soft sell, a nudge to get you to place a bet?
It changes the whole point of the media almost. From just informing you to maybe incentivizing you to take an action.
It's a different psychological contract with the audience, for sure. So, okay, wrapping this up. What does this all mean for you, the listener? It feels like we're in a new era. Journalists, maybe they need to understand betting odds almost as much as they need to know how to write. And ethics are constantly bumping up against entertainment, against revenue.
Yeah, I think a key takeaway for you has to be stay sharp. Really think about what you're consuming. Try to figure out when you're getting genuine insight into the sport, into the game, and when you're essentially being sold to.
That's the challenge.
It really is. Because the story now, it isn't just about who won or lost anymore. For a growing part of the conversation, it's all about the spread.